Hey, what's up? Back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing stuff with a flywheel, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so here is my lightweight aluminum racing meat flywheel for RX-8 and turbo RX-7s, and this has a bad friction plate. Now, I never use this, so you don't need to roast me in the comments, but you probably will anyway. But yeah, this friction plate is bad. It's warped, and I asked Racing Beat about resurfacing it. They said it's just a really bad idea all around. So I went ahead and ordered another friction plate. And I'm just going to show you how you change these out. And yeah. So moving over to the friction plate kit, what you get is, of course, the friction plate itself and the hardware kit. The hardware kit being the screws or bolts or whatever, and nuts that go on the back. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it. So the first thing you want to do is remove these nuts and bolts. Actually, no, it's just bolts. And okay, so this isn't exactly as clean as I'd like it, but it's clean enough. Just went ahead and cleaned up the back a little bit, so that's pretty clean off. And also all these little nut things, holes, whatever. Clean those out too. So yeah, this is as clean as I want to get it, for now anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mount this and then lightly secure the new hardware. And then we'll go over torque specs and how to go about tightening it down. Okay, so ran into a bit of an issue. So this may not actually be a racing meat flywheel after all. And the reason for that is because when I take my friction plate and line it up with the existing holes on here, it doesn't line up. Look at both friction plates side by side. You notice that there's a lot more holes on this one than this one, and the pattern is completely different. So this one I bought off a friend, and this is meant for my RX-7 because I'm taking my old, my high mile R3 trans and swapping it into the SA later on. And this is going to be the flywheel that I was going to use for it. Take a look at the back. Let's put that over there. Notice how it has this lip right here. It's just an overall thicker design. This one's a lot thinner. All the nuts and bolts are exposed where these are recessed. Well, I wanted to use this one for the RX-8 because it's the heavier of my two cars, and this one in the 700 pounds less car, the SA. And yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just replace the friction plate on this. The friction plate is actually perfectly good and usable. It may not look like it, but this is 100% usable, and no reason to really swap it out. But I do want to do all new everything, so I'm going to go ahead and swap this over onto this flywheel. And then if this happens to not be a race meat flywheel, and not like their older design or something, then I'll have to figure out what flywheel I have and what friction plate I need to get, because yeah, otherwise I'm not going to be able to use this at all. Alright, so I'm not going to record everything about removing this. I'm just going to go ahead and get to the same point and then move on with the install. Okay, so as you can see, now all the bolt holes line up. So I spoke with a friend about what flywheel I might possibly have, because I thought it might be some other brand that's not Racing Beat that has replacement friction plates. But it turns out this is discontinued after 2005 11-pound flywheel. So I think what I'm going to do is just use this flywheel with the RX-8 for now, and then later on when I do go through with the S2 RX-8 trans swap in my SA, then I'll pull the trans out, then take this flywheel off, and then put that flywheel on when I have a friction plate, which is going to be not for a while. So It should be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and start bolting this down and then start torquing. Okay, so got them all down about hand tight, and now I'm going to go through the torque sequence. So the torque sequence I'm going to go with is just crisscross, like that, kind of. Not like you would on like a car wheel or something like that, but yeah, I guess you could do either torque sequence and it would be fine. There's no recommended torque sequence from Racing Beat that I know of, but that's just the one that I'm going to go with. And yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and cue another time lapse because all this stuff is really, really tedious because there's so fucking many of them. Yeah, let's go ahead and get through with it. Should also mention that each nut is torqued down to 65 foot-pounds. I don't know why it says 3/16 nuts because these are all 3/8. And I do not have a deep 6-point 3/8 socket. So I'm going to be using 12-point, but it's only 65 foot-pounds, so it should be just fine. Also don't have a half drive 3/8 socket either. So using an adapter and my torque wrench. So let's torque all of them down to 65 foot-pounds. So I completely overlooked the part where it says inch-pounds, which isn't anything but foot-pounds. So I was trying to torque these down to 65 foot-pounds, and these nuts, well, they're just not gonna have it because I stripped 2 of these already. But the Racing Beat friction plate kit does come with extra nuts, so that's good. So I'm gonna use this little guy, and it's set for 65 inch-pounds. As you can see right there, inch-pounds. Right here, foot-pounds. It's not good. Yeah, so let's get on with that. That's done now, and yeah, should be ready to install, except I am going to clean up this surface a little bit so it doesn't tear up my rear mainsail, and yeah, should be ready to go and install tomorrow. I'm going to move on to the car itself because I got some other stuff planned for that, which I don't know where the hell. Oh well, that's going to be a different video, but yeah, this is done, good to go. In case anybody was wondering what flywheel this actually was, I did do a little bit of research and found out what it is. It's actually a Fidanza flywheel. They're actually, between the Racing Beat and the Fidanza, they're actually pretty close in price. And Fidanza is a little bit cheaper. Friction plate replacement is also about 25 bucks cheaper. But see, the difference between the flywheels themselves is without counterweight. Well, this one's 8 pounds, which is why it's marked 8 pounds. And this one is about, without hardware in it, any of the nuts and bolts and stuff like that, is about 9.6 pounds. It's advertised as 10 pounds, so it probably is 10 pounds with all the hardware in it and stuff like that. But yeah, a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter. Yeah, make the choice. I'll put the links for both of them in the description below, but thought I'd let you guys know.